friends, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Nika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So today I want to talk to you all about 5 things I think it's important for you to think about before getting into a marriage. These 5 tips can go to being in a relationship as well, but for tip number 5, I just think that it's very important to think about for marriage. But the first 4, I think you can use it like if you are the type of person that doesn't want to get married, or if you're just trying to work on getting into a relationship right now. These are just 4 things that you definitely need to think about. And then the 5th one is moving forward for marriage if you do decide to get married. Now, let's start off with the obvious. Not everybody wants to get married. So again, these tips can be used for relationships as well, not just marriage. Number 2, I know that some people, they don't want to hear marriage advice from people who's never been married or who is not married, which is me. I've never been married and I'm not married. But these are just things I think about when looking forward to my future and potentially getting married one day, that I think are just very important. And I just want to share them with you all. And number 3, I understand that these are just 5 tips and there's so many more tips out there for people, so please share them. So let's go ahead and jump into my 5 tips. Again, you don't have to take them if you don't want to, but these are my 5 tips. So number 1 is to stop rushing. I understand with society, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all that stuff going on around you, and then being out in the real world with your friends, your family. You know, you're seeing people in relationships, you're seeing people in love, you're seeing people get married, you're seeing all these great things, and you want that too. I get it. That's me too. But what's most important is not to rush. Don't rush your time. Just be happy for the next person, because your time will come when it's supposed to. Don't rush your time trying to be like everybody else that's in the world, trying to conform to what somebody else got. Don't try to chase that. Enjoy where you are right now. If you're single, which 9 times out of 10 you are if you're not in a relationship, but if you're single, like you don't have anybody, enjoy that. If you're single in the sense of I'm in a relationship but I want to be married and I'm not married yet, and you know what's going on, slow down, don't rush it, enjoy where you're at right now, and just talk it over with your partner and see where their mind is at and kind of go from there. But don't get so angry and bitter and just stuck on the fact that you're not in a relationship yet and you're not married yet. Like it's not your time. And if you are in a relationship and you're not married yet, it could be the wrong person. So you just never know. That's why you don't need to rush. Don't just think that, you know, we're in this relationship now, let's go ahead and go to the altar. And don't go out here just looking for anybody to jump into a relationship with or to run down the aisle with. Take your time. And I promise you, when it's the right time, it'll come for you. So number 2, don't skip the opportunity to get to know the person that you're interested in, the person that you want to be in a relationship with, or the person that you want to marry. Take the time to get to know them. Before getting into a relationship, you know, that's the time to really see what this person's about. What kind of relationship do you think this person wants? You know, they may want an open relationship or an open marriage. You know, that's stuff to talk about before you actually commit to somebody. And then if you're in a relationship already, currently, but you're wanting to get married and maybe your partner's not wanting to get married, that's something to talk about too. Talk about why they don't want to get married. Kind of see where you guys are. Don't let anybody waste your time. And if you're the person that don't want to get married, and if you don't want to marry them at all, then let them know as well, because you don't want to waste anybody's time. And if you do want to get married, but you just feel like it's not the time, or that person feels like it's not the time, then you guys can talk about it. You know, talk about how you guys can compromise, or if you guys need to break up or whatever it is. You know, have open communication, be honest with one another, get to know, because that person, you know, you may be have been with this person for a few years. People change every day. So they may have felt that you were the one the first, second year, but by the third year, maybe so much damage has happened and maybe now they don't want to get married. You don't know. But that's why it's very important to stop looking at time and look at where that person's mind is. Talk to them, communicate with them. And if you're single, this is the time that while you're trying to get to know somebody and you're thinking about getting into a relationship with somebody, that you kind of understand what they're wanting, what their idea of a relationship is. It's very important for you guys to have those talks and don't just assume, because your idea of what a relationship looks like and my idea of what a relationship should look like are two different things, and the same for marriage. So you want to make sure that you're pairing yourself with somebody who is on the same page as you are. So on to tip number 3. That is, do not skip out on the opportunity to discuss values. Don't ignore your partner's values, or going from the singles. Don't try to get into a relationship with somebody whose values don't align with yours. They don't have the same belief. They don't have the same ideas about a relationship. They don't want the same things out of a relationship. Don't jump into a relationship with that person knowing that their values don't align with yours. And then marrying, that's definitely important, because marriage is supposed to be forever. So don't marry somebody who the same way. Like, they don't have the same belief system. They don't want the same things as you want. They have a different idea of what a marriage should look like. Don't do it. Take your time. And if you have to break up or be single a little longer, take your time. Don't rush it. Make sure that those values from both ends, not just your values, are discussed. Both parties' values are discussed, so that you all can come to an agreement, come into an alignment with what you want for your relationship. Or if it's not meant to be on a romantic level, then you guys can be friends maybe. So definitely talk about that. Don't skip that. Don't skip it. I know sometimes talking about values can be hard and difficult, but don't skip that opportunity. Definitely do it. It's important. Number 4 is to discuss life goals. I mean, what are your life goals for yourself? Life goals are, your preferences for how you want your life to be. It's not the same as values, of course. Values is more core. It's more makes up with who you are, But your goals are something that you set for yourself. And we all have goals, whether that's the goal to go to school, or a goal to get a nice career, or goals to have kids, a goal to get married, a goal to, whatever it is. We all have our goals, and that should be discussed. Allow that person to tell you about what their life goals are, what they would like to see happen in their lives. And then you can do the same and see if it's not compromising either one of your values, then maybe you guys can compromise and kind of, work it out and make the marriage work, or make the relationship work, whatever works for you all. But if it's crossing boundaries, if, a person's life goal is to one day be a pastor and you don't believe in God, or you don't believe in whatever that person's saying that they believe in, don't get married. Don't get in a relationship with them, because it's going to be a power struggle and you guys are going to fall apart. So definitely discuss life goals. It's important. People have the right to have goals for their own life. And just because they pair up with someone else, their goals shouldn't be, dismissed just because that other person don't agree. So my last tip, tip number 5, is to pay attention to how that person manages their money. Stop overlooking it. If you know that a person is the person that you're with, or you're trying to get with, or you're trying to marry, if you notice that they're just like splurging all their money, they don't have a savings account, they don't even talk about saving money, and then they rent things and then they let it go to their credit because they don't pay on it, or they buy things, or they have credit cards and they don't really take it serious and pay on their credit cards and things like that, and it's damaging their credit score. Those are really important things to look at. That's why I said this one's most important for people who want to get married, because you're tying your life with somebody legally, so their debt becomes your debt, so remember that, and think about it this way. A lot of jobs are trying to run people's credit just to give them a job. You don't want to be married to somebody who doesn't take their credit seriously, and then they're not able to get a job, or a decent job, or a decent paying job, or a person who wants to spend all the money. Every time you guys are making money, you realize that you're the main breadwinner in the house, even though that person could be making more money than you, but they spend all their money on other stuff, and you're trying to save in case of emergencies and or trips if you want to take vacations, and they're just like splurging all their money away without a care in the world. They don't care. They just splurge it all away. Think about that. Is that really somebody you want to be married to? Or, I mean, people can change. They may be able to go through some counseling on, their finances and all that kind of stuff. But if they're not willing to, you have to think about it. Is that really a person you want to be married to forever? So that's just my 5 tips, 5 things you should stop doing regarding marriage. So please stop chasing the ring, and make sure that you're paying attention to the person that you're trying to tie your life to. So yes, I hope that these helped, and please, by all means, if you have anything extra to add, drop it in the comments below. Somebody else may benefit from what you have to say. They may need to know it. And I hope that you continue to follow me, listen to my videos. I hope that I'm encouraging someone, I'm helping somebody. My goal is to help at least one person. So if my video helped, please like, please comment, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.